Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Ask Me Anything. This is where Lone Loop subscribers can ask me anything about markets, trading, or life. I've got a long delayed question here from Mark N. Sorry, Mark, for the delay. Hello, Brian. I have two charts of two stocks that I would like your opinion on. I have sold both with very different results, but they are similar in that they both rolled over before selling, and I was wondering how you might have handled them. There's also a part two for this that we will get to in just a second. Okay, so here are the two stocks. These are Canadian stocks, and one of them is Imperial Oil Limited. And Mark indicates that he bought it here. Actually, let me back up a little bit. This is the day that Mark actually sent his question. So, like I said, I'm a little delayed on this. So Mark bought here, and he sold here. And he's wondering how I would have done it. Would I have done it different? First thing, Mark, and everybody, is it's super easy for me to sit here and say, well, I would have done this and you could have done that. I mean, hindsight's 2020. So I am not in any way saying that anything you did was right, wrong, and different, or I would have done it any different way. I'm just giving you some of the key points to look at as you do like your post-mortem on this. So I want to start with the buy. That's, I think, the interesting thing. I'm just curious why you would have bought it here. For me, when a stock has run like this, I mean, let's take a look at what this stock did at this point. So the first thing is it had broken out here from this pivot, right? You could also say it broke out, from this, right? This declining trend line right here. You could even do this. You could even have a breakout from here, from this pullback right there. And here's the thing, like, this is a good spot to buy. This is not a bad spot to buy. This is not as optimal. I'm just wondering why you bought it when it had gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Excuse me. Because generally at this point, when you've run up so far and you're actually past the breakout point here, there's a better chance that you're going to come in a little bit and maybe get shaken out. I like to buy as close to the breakout point as possible, which would be here or would be here. Not here so much because, again, it's a straight move. Like, I want to see some sort of consolidation area. I want to see a flat area right below a breakout. So I'm not sure what the rationale was on the buy here. In terms of the sell, I think there's a few places you could have sold. So the first, and a lot of this depends on what your strategy was. Was this a day trade? Obviously, it wasn't a day trade. Was it a swing trade? Was it a strategic investment? Was it were you going to buy and hold it? That has a lot to do with it. So you buy here, and you get a nice run here. You come on in, you try to get up here again, and now you hit the 9, you bounce, and you come and you roll over. So right here, you've got a lower high. I mean, you could even call it almost like a double top. So at that point, you got to have your feelers up, like, what's going on here? You could sell at the low of this day here. You could sell when it breaks this uptrend here. Certainly after it broke below your buy spot, and then it bounced a little bit, and then it went like this, that would have been a good spot to buy. You could have sold when it broke the 50. You could have sold when it broke this big long trend line. So I think there were probably some more optimal places to have sold this, depending again on your strategy, what your intent was when you bought it. Now, having said that, selling it here, I don't know that this was the best spot to sell it because it had held a little bit here. Now, if you fast forward a couple days like this, when it broke this little, let's see, why does it say add text there? I don't want to add text. Let's clone this. All right, so when you broke this little flag, like, I would have held it here if I hadn't sold it. And then when we broke like this, then I would have sold it. Turns out though, 126 is where you sold it. It's at 115. So this sell was a better sell than no sell, but I just think there were some spots that could have been, you could have been a little bit earlier and maybe saved yourself based upon some technicals, breaking this trend line, double top, lower high, breaking the 50, breaking this. Any of those parameters would have been legitimate. The other one is Groupe Dynamic, which I believe also is a Canadian company. So Mark says he bought it here. He bought it here, he bought it here, and he sold it all here. He had an average cost of $69.57, sold it all here, so made some money. And let's see, was that the day? Yeah, right. Okay. Again, having a little trouble understanding what the rationale was buying here. Because if I'm looking at this, the breakout is either there or the breakout is here, right? This day right here. The fact that it had run so hard, gapped up, and then continued to go and you bought it there, I just not sure. Usually at this point, there's so much energy expended that chances are you're going to get some sort of a pullback, and that could wash you out. And I think you got a little lucky here, and you got this nice little base. This is where my next buy would have been if you want to add to it. After it had based sideways, after it came right into the 8 EMA and broke like that, that's where I would have bought it. Again, I like this consolidation and then buying a break of the consolidation. It's holding the 9. I'm not sure what again, we're extended from this consolidation. So we break out here, we gap, we go sideways, and we break out here, and then you buy up here, and then again buy on a gap here. I just not sure the rationale there. In terms of the sell, I think you nailed the sell. You nailed it here, right? Because let's get rid of this. This is the day he emailed me. I mean, that's a gap up reversal. I'd like to think that you sold it sometime intraday when it started to break down. It still is in an uptrend, right? Still hasn't violated the 50, still holding the 21. So again, I don't know if this was a trade or a long-term thing, but for now, that was a pretty good sell. So this one, I would say sell was perfect. I'm not so sure about the buys. On this one, I think you could have been a little bit more aggressive and sold earlier at these spots. And again, not real sure about why the buy was here. I would have preferred a break of the consolidation, the pullback here, or after breaking out and consolidating here. I mean, even here, not optimal, but I think better than there. So hope that helped. If you have a question and you're a Lund Loop subscriber, you can hit me up at Brian, Brian, at thelundloop.com. See you next time.